10 Advice from Warren Buffett for Young People Who Want to Be Rich. Warren Buffett, the pinnacle of success, especially when it comes to trading stocks. He became a millionaire in 1960 at the age of 30. His net worth is now over $75 billion, and one of the richest men in the world. Warren Buffett made his billions through making smart investments in the world of stocks and shares, essentially making him the smartest investor to ever walk on the planet. Warren Buffett over the years has given various advice to young people about how they can be rich and successful. In this video, we'll share with you 10 of the most inspiring advice from Warren Buffett. Advice number 8 is very important, so you need to watch this video till the end. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Advice number 1. Be different. The truth is that most people will copy others that have already become successful. I don't blame them, I do it too more often than I should, but it's not always a great way to go. If you're forever copying others, you're never able to give anybody your own personality and image, your own ideas and visions. It's normally always the people that dare to be different, who are discovering the next big thing which people fall in love with. Warren has stated that the average person will be the one that is copying other people, but he didn't want to be average. He wanted to be different and judge himself by that of his own standards. So you too can achieve the breakthrough in life if you try to figure out how to do things better in a different way. Advice number 2. Always reinvest your profits. One of Warren Buffett's first ventures was purchasing a pinball machine with a friend and putting it in a local barber shop. He didn't go out and spend his share of the profits from this machine on stuff he didn't need. He went out and purchased more machines to place in other shops. Then when this venture ended, he again reinvested the profits into the stock market, which served him very well in the future from doing so. What can you learn from this? In business, reinvestment is always a great key to consistent growth. After all, if you make money in your business and spend the profit, you're only going to have the same amount or less to put into your business again. And that's not going to help you with growth at all. Advice number 3. If you buy things you don't need, you will soon sell things you need. One of the most prominent advice of Warren Buffett's is to spend your money wisely. Try not to waste your money on the things that you don't need, and spend it wisely on the stuffs that you do need. Also make sure you save so that you can invest in yourself later on when you're ready to. How does this apply to you, our dear viewer? You see, when one buys expensive clothes, phones, perfumes, watches at a time that you don't necessarily need them, you will end up being broke. In other words, what Warren Buffett is saying here is that you should spend your money wisely. Advice number 4. No matter how great the talent or efforts, some things just take time. When it comes to stocks and shares in particular, investing in the long term will most likely be able to reap more benefits than hoping to make a quick buck. It's the same with bank interests. The longer you're prepared to tie your money up for, the larger percentage of interest you will get. The key lesson to learn here is: since you know that you can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant, why don't you take your time to think about things in a long term? I'm sure you will be able to figure out things which were not clear to you before. Advice number 5. Evaluate risks before taking them. When you're an entrepreneur, taking risks is pretty much important, but you should always be assessing the risk that you are thinking of taking. When you assess a risk and weigh up the potential advantages to disadvantages, it will always help you make a better choice for yourself. The lesson to be learned here is always assess risks. Though life itself is full of risks, you should always ensure that any risk you are taking is worth it. Advice number 6. Know when to quit in life. Knowing when to quit is so damn important. If you don't know when to accept mistakes and losses, you will make the hole much bigger, and begin to lose even more. Buffett says you need to know when it's time to accept a loss and move on, before it ends up sinking your entire ship. Are you engaged in something that you know truly well is not beneficial to your growth? Be it your relationships, business, goals, etc. Re-examine and evaluate them from time to time, then you will be able to ascertain if the best thing for you to do is to move on with your life. Advice number 7. Take note of small expenses. You see, sometimes small unexpected costs can kill businesses without them even realizing until the last second. Whether it be shortage of supply, postage costs, theft, packaging costs, missing stock gone unnoticed, miscellaneous expenses, you name it. If this happens too often in your business without you realizing, then costs will be a lot higher than what you make them out to be, and the business could potentially be losing large amounts of money. What Warren Buffett is actually saying here is that you should form the habit of taking note about some small expenses. Advice number 8. Persistence is very important. In 1983, the Nebraska Furniture Mart was purchased by Warren Buffett, mainly because the way that Rose Blumkin, the founder of the mart, did business appealed quite well to him. Rose was an amazing negotiator, and she used to completely undersell the big shots as part of her business strategy. The Furniture Mart didn't start out as a large store. Over time it grew from just a small pawn shop into North America's biggest furniture store. The reason this Furniture Mart became so successful and was able to beat its competitors was because Rose had the persistence and determination to turn it into what it eventually became. How does this apply to you? You have to know that the key to mastering any skill is persistence. You've just got to keep pushing until you get through the barriers to success. Advice number 9. Be cautious about debts. If you're someone who takes out loans quite a lot and gives out your credit card, then you're not going to become rich as you may think. Sorry for saying that, but that's the truth. You're going to end up with debts that are ever increasing, and it'll start snowballing if you're not careful. Warren Buffett has never borrowed a large amount of money, and he suggests to those with outstanding loans that once they've repaid it and are free of debt, they should begin saving what they can to be able to invest later. Advice number 10. Have a clear definition of success. What's your definition of success, dear viewer? How would you describe a successful person? You may be amazed at the above questions about success. Well, for Warren Buffett, you'll find that despite being a billionaire and one of the richest people in the world, he doesn't really measure his success based on the amount of money he has. There was actually a point in his lifetime where he was willing to give almost all of his cash to charities. Instead of measuring and evaluating success based on wealth and riches, Warren Buffett states that success is more about having lots of people around you that love you and that you love too, especially as a man of his age. So have a rethink about what your definition of success actually is. You need to understand why this is crucial in life, because that is the ultimate test of how you've lived your life. You enjoyed this video, right? Our team will be very happy if you can like this video and share it with your friends on social media. Don't forget to subscribe so that you won't miss other educative videos like this. We love you. Thank you.